Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing my questions and answers. I posted for persons to ask me questions on Instagram and also on my WhatsApp, and I got a few questions, so I'm going to answer them. Even though some of them y'all are so damn nosy. Some of them I was like, nope, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Okay, so anyways, the first question. Here goes. Are you going to tell the world about your Vegas decisions? What happened to what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? What happened to what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? What had happened was, y'all know how I was celibate, right? Well, I broke that celibacy in Vegas. Woo! No, it wasn't like a random dude. I've been talking, well, we're not talking, but I've been messing with this guy for like 5 years. We're friends on and off. So he lived in Vegas and it just happened. Anyways, moving right along. This person, what's your favorite position that guarantees an orgasm for you? Sir, I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that. I cannot tell you that because people, no, you don't need to know that. Next. Like, I read some of these questions before, but it's just like, I'm not going to call the person's name. The person said, why you did in love with boop, little old. Listen, let me tell you. I mean, I have this video on Instagram where I'm talking about size and how, it's how the person works it. So for me, the person know how to use his little hood or whatever. And I mean, for me, I don't fall in love because of sex. I fall in love with the person's personality and how they treated me before they started acting like a piece of shit. So yeah. Next. Who inspires you the most? When I first saw this question, I really thought like, damn, I don't have somebody who inspires me the most. But now that I think about it, it's definitely not just one person. For me, whenever I set a goal, sometimes or 99.9% of the time, I procrastinate, with the exception of when it comes to school. But when it comes to like stuff that I want to accomplish business wise, I always procrastinate. So I get inspired when I see people who always make it their point of duty to accomplish their goals. For example, my cousin Nimon, like, she's a jack of all trade. Like, she does everything. She does face painting. She works, like, work a 9 to 5. She does event planning. She does event decor. So that's one of the person that inspires me. Like, they set their goal and they just accomplish it. So yeah, I don't have one set person, just anybody who sets out their goals and they accomplish those goals. So next question. Would you consider yourself a picky person when it comes to guys? Elaborate, please. I don't think I'm picky. Okay? Well, what's in my cup? I'm drinking Jack Daniels, honey, and Coke. Hold on. Hold that thought. I don't think I'm picky when it comes to guys. It's just that stuff that I've dealt with in my past, I don't want to have to deal with in my present or the future guy that I decide to date. For example, most of the times when I'm in a relationship, it was a long distance relationship. And I told myself, like, I don't want a long distance relationship anymore. And I don't feel like that's me being picky. That's me. I experience what it feels like to be in a long distance relationship. And that's not something that's for me because I am, what do you call it? I'm like a mushy person. If I date somebody, I want them to be with me. I want to love on that person, not from a distance. And, like missing them. Like, take, for example, I've been in a long distance relationship so long, or most of my relationships have been long distance to the point I don't know how to sleep with somebody. So, say, for example, I'm with a guy and we're in the bed and I can't sleep. Like, I be like, can I go home or can you go home? Like, depending on where I am. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't want a long distance relationship. I'm big on guys courting females. I don't see nothing wrong with courting. So yeah. Next question. If you could change anything about your past relationship experience, what would it be? Past relationship experience. The only thing I would change is I notice in my relationships, I always get my friends too involved. Like they would be like in my business. So that is one thing I would definitely change. Like I wouldn't have my friends so involved with my relationship. That's one of my downfalls for me when I'm in a relationship. I tend to tell my friends everything. I get my friends involved in everything and then they hate the guy and then it's like, so that's one thing I would change about my past experience. I wouldn't change anything that I've been through with a guy because all of those were lessons. Like I learned about myself. I learned what I will tolerate and what I will not tolerate. So I wouldn't change anything per se with regards to the relationship. Next, which one of your ex you would take back? Honey, the only ex I would take back, he's actually dead. May his soul rest in peace. Other than that, I will not date back any of my ex. Next, do you believe love at first sight is a thing? I believe it's a thing, but I haven't experienced it yet. So I can't really elaborate on that. But I know people who experience love at first sight. So I guess it exists. I just haven't experienced it yet. Next question is, I feel like everybody just wants to be in my business, but I did ask for questions, so I'm going to answer them. How would you describe an ideal husband? Okay, this is one of those questions too that I'm going to have to refrain from answering only because I don't want to have on social media the kind of guy that I'm looking for and then someone pretends to be that guy that I'm looking for to get what they want. So that question I'm going to have to refrain from answering. So I won't answer that question. Someone asked, was it easy being celibate? This time around, it actually was not easy. And that's why, okay, I'm not celibate anymore because it was not easy. There were a few times last year I almost I almost broke my celibacy, but God was like, nah, not this one. So It was definitely hard. Normally, it's so easy for me to be celibate. Like in college, I was celibate the majority of my years throughout college, primarily because my boyfriend at the time was long distance and I wasn't going to cheat. Like, I don't cheat, so I was celibate by default since I was here and my boyfriend was over there. Next question. Are you single? Yes, my loves. I'm single. How long have I been single for? A long ass time. It's probably time for me to get a man, but I haven't found anybody where I'm willing to change my status. Next. My best friend asked me this question. Why you love bad boys so much? Listen, it's not even necessarily bad boys. It's just I don't want somebody that I could push around. Because I'm such a strong female. I need a guy who is like really strong, who will be able to handle me. And sometimes we like, girls like a little roughness, not no put your hands on me roughness because I'm going to slap you the hell right back or I'm going to end up in prison. So don't even try that. So not that kind of roughness. Like my ex-boyfriend, one time we were going out and I wore this short ass skirt and he was like, where y'all going at that? I'm me alone for seeing at that or what? Like little stuff like that. And I was like, ow, okay. But I didn't change. But that was still like such a turn on for me. So it's not necessarily like a gang banger like bad boy, but I don't want anybody who I can push around. And the final question is, drum roll please. This question I don't I didn't screenshot it, but I know my friend Toki had asked me. So it's not word for word what she asked me, but I'm trying to remember. So she asked, what was my HBCU experience like? And would you recommend like going to a HBCU? For me, honestly, I don't feel like I experienced the full extent of being at an HBCU because I was so focused. Like, first of all, I went to Clark Atlanta University, CAU. Woo! And freshman year, I joined. They had this thing called Spirit Boosters where you go to the football games and you cheer, and all of that was fun. But then I set a goal for myself like, oh, I wanted this 4.0 GPA. And then I lost myself. Like, what am I trying to say? I basically got lost in getting that 4.0 GPA where I really didn't get to experience HBCU after my freshman year. Like my freshman year, like I was like, Clark is the best. It's still the best. The best. Okay? HBCU. But I know other friends who had way more like they had a more of an HBCU experience than I did. So they would probably have to answer that question, but I really enjoyed going to Clark Atlanta University. I did business. The business department is really, really, really good. Would I recommend it to? Yes, I would recommend going to a HBCU. Honestly, I mean, I haven't been to any other colleges, but based off conversations with other individuals who went to colleges that weren't HBCU, they was like, oh, I want to go to a HBCU. I feel like there's some information that people of color don't get at a regular college that is not a HBCU that you have the opportunity to receive at an HBCU. So I would definitely recommend, not just African Americans, like white people could go to HBCU, because we had a white guy at Clark Atlanta University, and he was super cool. So anybody could go to a HBCU. It's a good experience. The homecoming is just off the chain, especially when we have a AUC homecoming with Clark, Morehouse, and Spelman. So I would definitely recommend going to an HBCU. So that was the last question. So that concludes my question and answer. I will definitely be doing another question and answer, maybe like in a few months, just to see if I get any new questions as my channel grows. Thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't, please remember to hit that subscribe button below. Bye guys.